We are working breaking news on former Fall River Mayor Jasiel Correia. A federal judge has sentenced him to 6 years in prison.
Correia didn't speak in court at the recommendation of his attorney since he is appealing his sentence.
Target 12 investigator Steph Machado has been tracking the story every step of the way. She joins us now live outside a federal court in Boston with the breaking details. Steph?
This was a hearing over 2 days in which the judge reversed the jury's verdict on some of the counts, but upheld the crimes of City Hall corruption in Fall River that will land that city's former mayor in federal prison. Mayor, what do you make of the sentence?
Why didn't you make a statement?
Is it a fair sentence? A silent Jasiel Correia leaves federal court after being given a 6-year federal prison sentence and a scathing rebuke from Judge Douglas Woodlock. Inside the courtroom, where cameras are not allowed, Woodlock described Correia as someone who has not demonstrated that he is concerned about anyone other than himself. Under then-Mayor Correia, the judge said Fall River City Hall was for sale. This is the most fundamentally corrosive crime that a community faces, he said. If we can't trust each other, if we can't trust our government, where are we? Prosecutors had sought 11 years in prison for extortion, conspiracy, and the remaining fraud counts. Correia, as mayor, extorted bribes from businessmen who wanted to open marijuana stores in the city. Assistant U.S. Attorney Zachary Hafer arguing Fall River under Jasiel Correia was like Atlantic City under Prohibition in terms of the crudeness of the corruption. Correia's new legal team he hired after his trial asked for a shorter sentence of 3 years. Attorney William Fick telling the judge, "There's little that I've encountered in my life that extinguishes hubris than a day in federal prison." The judge landing somewhere in the middle there at 6 years. He has not yet given Correia a date to report to prison. Correia will also have to pay forfeiture for ill-gotten gains and restitution to the victims, the investors who he defrauded. Those numbers have not yet been calculated because, again, the judge did toss out some wire fraud counts yesterday because they didn't meet the exact definition of federal wire fraud. Live in Boston, I'm Steph Machado, 12 News.
Breaking news, 6 years. That's the prison sentence a federal judge handed down this afternoon for former Fall River Mayor Jasiel Correia. It's double the sentence Correia's defense wanted and roughly half what prosecutors requested.
But despite tossing several counts yesterday, this afternoon the judge laid into Correia for his crimes. Target 12 investigator Steph Machado was back in Boston for today's sentencing, and she joins us now live with what happens next. Steph?
Well, Jasiel Correia did not speak or apologize for his crimes in court before he was sentenced. The judge remarked on his lack of remorse as he gave him a 6-year prison term.
Showing any remorse?
Jasiel Correia said nothing as he left court Tuesday following a 2-day hearing that ended with a 6-year prison sentence. Judge Douglas Woodlock saying of the public corruption case, "This is the most fundamentally corrosive crime that a community faces. If we can't trust each other, if we can't trust our government, where are we?" Correia had been convicted of shaking down prospective cannabis store owners for bribes when he was mayor of Fall River, even after he knew he was under federal investigation for defrauding investors in his now defunct app called Snow Owl.
We're going to have a great day of vindication, and eventually the real truth will come out. Judge
Woodlock unimpressed by these comments to reporters after Correia's conviction back in May, including this claim.
You offered a plea? I was. Why didn't you take it? I'm not guilty.
In court today, the judge confirmed with the lawyers Correia was never offered a plea deal. After his sentence, the U.S. Attorney's Office issued a statement saying, quote, "Jasiel Correia was a corrupt and deceitful politician who could only be stopped by federal prosecution. Now he is a felon and will be a federal inmate." Correia will be given a date to report to prison. He also intends to appeal his conviction. Live in Boston, I'm Steph Machado, 12 News.